Well, hey everybody, it's Tom Antion. It's live and it's Sunday night. And I'm opening the show today with somewhat of a heavy heart. Minnie's here, by the way. Those of you that know Minnie. Hi, Minnie. Isn't she cute? Our good friend Alan Barese's dad died suddenly a few days ago. I know it's devastating to him and his entire family. And it's somewhat of a double whammy in that his dad was the main caretaker of his mother who has Alzheimer's. So he really got a double whammy slapped on him this week. And so we don't expect them to be here tonight. But hopefully you'll be able to send your thoughts and prayers to him and his family, in this tragic circumstance. It's, my mother and father, nothing was sudden about it, and they were in their 80s and 90s, and it was still quite an ordeal, but nothing was sudden about it. And apparently his father had an aneurysm, his aorta burst, or I don't know what they call it, but most people never even make it to the hospital, but he made it to the hospital and was able to say a few words to the family, but didn't make it much further than that. So it was very sudden, and Alan is, of course, beside himself over this, and there's a lot of distance and family coming in, and they are way out in Missoula, Montana, so I'm sure he's not getting much. Oh, there he is. Oh, gee. So Alan, we're all sending you our thoughts and prayers. He says he just got home from helping for the last 4 days. I'm sure you're exhausted, and we're all sending you our best wishes, including Minnie. She says, "Hey, Uncle Alan, hope you're feeling better." Somebody like this can maybe at least make you smile a little bit. A new life starting. Say hi, Minnie. Say hi to Uncle Alan. Yeah, she's cute. So she sleeps up here. So anyway, we're hoping you get some rest and the family's okay. And I know there's a lot of stuff that has to go on yet. Let's see. Janet says prayers to him and his family. Janet's worked with me years and years ago, and now she's a WordPress trainer and developer. Let's see, let me refresh here, see who else is on. Yeah, it's just hard to want to laugh a lot tonight after something like that happening to one of your best friends in the world, that's what Alan is to me. So anyway, let's get a lot of prayers and light, or however you if you want to celebrate his father's life, that's one way. If you want to mourn, that's another way. But anyway, we're hoping everything comes out okay. Let's see what we got here. I wanted to put this picture up. I hope Alan can take this all right, but I don't know if that's the one that he said was one of the last pictures with his dad or not, but that's his dad. Kind of reminds me of my dad, just salt of the earth, and Oh boy. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. All right, well, let's switch gears here a little bit. Speaking of my dad, I've been channeling him like crazy. I did all that electrical work in my trailer this past couple days. And I know the electrician that came on and looked at it probably wanted to throw up, but, you know, it's not perfect, but it's... I mean, I really do channel my dad. A bizarre thing happened. Sue says, sending prayers from Boise. Larry, prayers and healing energy from Long Island. So anyway, I was putting the ceiling in this trailer, and it was overhead. I'm by myself. I'm sweating to death. Nothing's going right. I'm trying to drill into this this steel beam overhead while holding up this panel so it didn't fall down for the 10th time. And then the drill bit breaks, and then the screw falls on the floor, and I've got to try to hold the ceiling up and reach down and pick it up, and it's just a total nightmare. And I'm used to working by myself, so I handle this stuff. But I was really kind of at the end of my rope on this, and I'm trying to drill this hole into this steel beam and get this screw in there. And I mean, I'm not much of a woo-woo, bizarre kind of guy, but I said, "Come on, Dad, help me." And boom, the screw went right in. I couldn't believe it. I sat down, and I'm just looking around, and I'm thinking, oh man, he was here with me the whole time. You know, he's probably here around more since I've been working more with tools, and he's, you know, really, you know, taught me all this stuff, and you know, he was into that his whole life, building stuff, and I was only partially, you know, involved. But that was really something, and that screw went boom the minute I said, "Come on, Dad, help." Jesus. Wow. There's me again. So, forgot to show you this picture last week. This is the crew at VIP Video Day. We had a really great 2 days. Hey, if you get together a group of four or more, 4 to 5 people is about right. Now, you see more people there, but some were assistants, so you can bring an assistant if we do a VIP Video Day again. We only did one this year, one last year. But people, I mean, really got a lot out of it, especially going to 2 days. So, and we went out in the field and did stuff. So I taught them how to make a video wherever they are that makes sense for their business. And they were doing it like crazy by the time the end of the day came. That's Lakia there on the right. She's on vacation this week, but that's our social media expert. And Superhero and Famous Dave in the back. And, you know, so we had a good crew there. And one more thing with regard to the trailer. So this is a picture I sent to a guy I know that's a highly skilled carpenter cabinet maker. And if you see that triangle there, I had to cut that out for a shelf in the front of my V-nose trailer. And I'll tell you what, that is not easy, and you don't want to mess it up because you're going to get be running back and forth and spending $20 a sheet on plywood every time you mess it up. So I called him up, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because when you learn, first of all, you should learn how to do stuff, but when you don't know how to do stuff, you go learn. Now, fortunately, I didn't have to pay him. I had already paid him $30,000, $40,000 over the years, but I mean, I didn't have to pay him, but he told me exactly how to cut this so it would be perfect on the first try. How to measure, how to get the angles right, because it's an oddball angle in the front of this trailer. So, and it was perfect on the first try, and that's the picture I sent him right after I cut it and fit it in. So anyway, get help when you need it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Something I forgot last week. I don't have the picture, but there's a a viral picture going around with a nun with a chainsaw from the hurricanes. Now, it's not a really smart idea to have a chainsaw with a bunch of loose clothing. And talk about loose clothing, that's about as loose as you can get to have a nun's habit on and flopping in the wind. She's lucky she didn't kill herself, but because she had extra, protection, extra insurance policy that most of us don't have. But anyway, I'll tell you a little later about what somebody did because of that. And I want you to keep your eyes open for ideas all the time. Okay, let's see. Our fake sponsor, I forgot to bring the thing in again today, so we're going to skip the fake sponsor today. Oh, no, here's one. Let's make, let's see, Remington shotgun shells, our fake sponsor. This is a rifled slug, 12 gauge for my slug gun. So anyway, Remington is not sponsoring us, and why do I keep a shotgun shell? No, it just happens to be sitting here for months. I'll have to take it out pretty soon because the deer season's coming up. All right, they're our fake sponsor. Let's see. Where the saga continues. In the scams, we'll talk about Equifax, brutal self-defense, more food for thought. In the internet section, keep your eyes open. Speaking tip, stage rushes. A-hole of the week, burn baby burn. And hero of the week, don't get down. All right, so selfie stupidity's up and running. I'm getting a lot of glare today. I don't know why. So go there, register, have a laugh. I think maybe Alan should go there and have a few laughs. Let me refresh here, see if any more comments are coming in. Let's see. This thing is crazy. I had some real funny videos you can watch later on my channel there. This guy's pretending to be his baby's voice, and it's hysterical. Let me get my notes back here. All right, so weight loss. Yay, weight loss. All right, we're going to have a little game here today. I'm going to give you a little riddle to solve. Not a riddle, but a little research project to solve to figure out the weight gain for this week. All right, so here's your clue. All right, you better write it down if you're going to try to play the game. And if you win, if you're the first one to get the answer, I'm going to send you a keto bomb, which in the mail, which it'll be all melted by the time it gets to you. So you can decline the prize if you win. All right, you ready? You ready? Here we go. There's a woman, and her name is Gabrielle Suzanne Kerner. Gabrielle Suzanne Kerner. Here's another clue. -1. So, Gabrielle Suzanne Kerner. Another clue, -1. This woman released a song in 1983 in German, the German language. And they made a U.S. version, and she hated it, and she refused to sing it in live concert, although it is on music video. So that's your clue. So I want to know who the person is and how much I weighed this morning. All right, let's see who can figure that out. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm only on one monitor again. That other one pooped out on me. Let's see. Let's go to the mailbag. Several people again. I want to win your trip. Hey, I didn't get any emails last week unless of who wanted to win the trip to the retreat center. Maybe you're already in the contest. Let me see if I can get that glare off my glasses. It's crazy. My eyes are really blue, folks. 6'2", eyes are blue. Let me see if I can get that off there a little bit. So if you want to win the trip to the retreat center, you got to play. Email me orders@antion.com, and I'll send you the sign-up link. All right, Gonzalez wants to know, why do I suggest multiple hosting services? Two reasons. One is if the hosting service gets hacked or goes down, you disappear off the face of the earth. That's the main reason, really, nowadays. The second reason, so you want to spread your sites out. The second reason is if you do a link strategy, Google and the other search engines can see you're linking to yourself. It's all coming from the same IP address. So for those two reasons, it's not a good idea to host all in one place. All right, Paul says, I know you're into speed. Well, that's not the drug. Give us a couple ways to work faster in Microsoft Word. All right, well, this first tip, I was watching a woman that had one hand and only partial fingers on that hand, typing faster or working in Word faster than me. So I watched her for a while, and I remember seeing all these tricks she would use, but one stuck out that I didn't even know. I thought there was only a Mac thing, but apparently, if you want to move some text around, I was highlighting it and then cutting and going where I wanted it and pasting it. All you have to do is highlight it and drag it where you want it to go, and it'll reformat. So that's one. And then another thing I see all the time, I don't know if this is just this is not just a Word trick, this is a Windows trick, where, if you go to highlight something and you just didn't get the last letter, let's say, or the last number, and you're trying to highlight it and then you go way past it, and it's a pain in the neck. So here you do. If you get even close when you're highlighting, hit the Shift key and then the arrow key, whichever way you want to highlight, and it'll highlight the rest of it for you very precisely. So you don't, you're not slopping around all over the place trying to highlight something. Oh, there you go. There's two tips for you. But I'm sure if you just type in Microsoft Word shortcuts and tips, you'll have loads of them. Sarah says, what do you think about Grasshopper? Well, see, a guy like me, when you say Grasshopper, I've been around long enough, and I love to show Kung Fu back in the day. And so Kung Fu guy was the Grasshopper, so I love that show. He's dead now. He suffocated in some kind of weird stuff in Thailand. But I think you're talking about the phone service Grasshopper. And I got alfalfas sticking out everywhere. Long day, folks. You okay, Minnie? Minnie says she's okay. So it's basically a voice over IP service that does a lot of things that allows you to use your cell phone for your business and use different extensions and all kinds of cool stuff, vanity numbers and all that stuff. But I'm still kind of stuck in the how pitiful the original Vonage was. And I tried it and got rid of it in no time. It just wasn't up to snuff for business lines. So I still pay a fortune for, 13 lines we have here or something. But it's always clear. So I'm not in big favor of voice over IP because it's going to sound goofy part of the time, and I don't know if you want that as your business image. All right, let's go to the news. The saga continues. The teachers were slacking off, but we got a married teacher and mom, 32, busted after lewd videos show threesome sex and partying in panties with teen boy students. Samantha Lee Ciotta, a mother of two, was arrested on September 20th and charged with unlawful sex and oral copulation with a minor. She got caught because the video was on Snapchat. So I don't know if this is this always been going on. It's just there's more social media now. We hear about it. I have no idea, but I know that. Well, there was very few that anybody would have wanted from my schools, but a lot of these ones are cutie pies. Well, you know what? I have really been keeping my eye out, but in Northern California, Bigfoot was sighted. Now, not only was Bigfoot sighted, I guess he was running from the wildfires. He or she, I don't really know, or it, it could be transgender Bigfoot or non-conforming, whatever those terms are, Bigfoot, don't really know. But this one has to take the cake. Now, you may have heard the term, I'll do that when pigs can fly, right, or something like that. Well, apparently, a witness, Now, Northern California is not like your typical middle of the boondocks, pig farmer, where the aliens landed kind of person. They're more sophisticated up there in Northern California, right? So anyway, the sighting claims that Bigfoot was running so fast from the wildfires that he tripped, and the pig that he was carrying went flying. So, hence, there's a true flying pig and Bigfoot in the same story. Where do you get that other than California, right? Tim Maudlin got Alan got the song, but Tim Maudlin won the thing because I said -1. So you're absolutely right. Tim Maudlin, it was Nina or Nina, a German singer, got the nickname Nina as a little girl, which is little girl in Spanish. And 1983 hit song 99 Luftballons in German. And I said -1, so I'm 98 down, new record, yay, pushing the C note, the C note's coming. So Tim, you win a melted keto bomb whenever I get around to mailing it to you. Good job. Let's see, Janet says, I moved to Magic Jack and it sucks. Gets disconnected all the time. Was going to try Vonage, thanks for the tip. Yeah, I tried Magic Jack a while back. Larry says, non-binary Bigfoot. Joyce says, my daughters live in Northern California. Did they see Bigfoot running by any chance? I'm not sure. Alan says he had 98 first. All right, I didn't see it, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to split the keto bomb and send a melted keto bomb to both of you. So I want to be fair about this. So anyway, if they saw Bigfoot, tell them to report it because he's on a loose. Well, Katy Perry, our favorite Hillary supporter, got stuck suspended above her crowd in a concert. and I was thinking, she's so far above us anyway. Isn't that poetic justice that she would just get stuck above us, mechanically? Perfect. Alan says, it's okay, Tim can have it, but no, Alan, I know you're under stress. You need some comfort keto bomb food, so you can scrape it off the inside of the envelope when it gets there. It might be after the first of the year. So yeah, I just thought that was poetic justice that she would be hung up above the concert since she's above us all anyway. Now the Florida chainsaw nun, that's the picture I was talking about earlier of this nun with a chainsaw, inspired a new beer. It's the Chainsaw Nun beer. Some guys came out, her picture's not on it, but it inspired a new beer. And I'm going to talk about that in the internet section. Now, those of you that went to college or in any situation where you had a roommate, what do you think the best way ever to get rid of your roommate is? If you don't like your roommate or you'd rather live alone, Well, there's one way gives you two chances to live alone. This lady, Tierna Williams from Tennessee State University, got arrested for putting toilet water in her roommate's drinks. The roommate got deathly sick over time and left, of course. So that way, Tierna could have the room to herself. Right? However, be careful what you wish for, because she's in jail without bond, I think. Or I don't know if she's without bond. But if she goes to jail for this, then she still might have a roommate that she can't get rid of. So, all right. So those of you looking to, if you know what the Mile High Club is, I am not quite a member of the Mile High Club, but honorable mention, put it that way. The Mile High Club is having sex at 5,280 feet above ground. In other words, in a plane, usually. All right. It could be in a hot air balloon, a Luft balloon maybe. But it's hard to find people that'll go along with stuff like that. So Qantas Airlines is rolling out a thing called Seat Chat, where you can go on the little TV screen and you can send a message to somebody in a different seat as long as you know their seat number. And so so people are hooking up on these things that didn't know each other. You know, there's been all kinds of times when you see somebody that's really hot in some other seat that's not near you and you can't strike up a conversation, but now you can, see? So that's Seat Chat on Qantas. Now, Harris Teeter is the grocery store I go to most of the time. I mean, Whole Foods and Trader Joe's once in a while, but Harris Teeter is the closest, biggest that I've been going to for a long time. So, apparently a disgruntled employee that claimed that they owed him money, not in my location, but in Charleston, South Carolina. If your produce tastes a little funny, he sprayed feces water all over the I guess he should have got together with Tierna, and helped her out a little bit, and got arrested for it. And Dana Robertson, the Harris Teeter spokesperson, said, I made this up, well, we've washed off the feces and put back all the chemical toxins that are far worse. That was a fake spokesperson for Harris Teeter. I just made it up. Let's see. What do you think, Minnie? Minnie's sleeping. Let's see. Wait till you hear this. Those of you sending your kids to college, I have an article out with all the weird stuff that college courses they're literally underwater basket weaving, the social significance of Tupac Shakur, stuff like that. These are college courses that you are paying for your little rugrats, older rugrats. Well, now Northern Michigan University is offering a marijuana-focused degree. And it says, but stoners need not apply. Apparently, this is a really hard course. It's really intense biology chemistry program all about the marijuana business. And you can get a degree in marijuana. I don't know what the rest of the title is, but Northern Michigan's doing it. Now, what do you think the easiest way to start a restaurant is? Well, apparently a California restaurant named Sweet Dixie Kitchen goes next door and buys twice a day and buys up Popeye's chicken and comes back to their restaurant and sells it for $13 a plate. somebody was sitting at the counter and saw a Popeyes delivery coming in the bag. And a few minutes later, he's eating his chicken, and it says, "This is suspiciously like Popeyes." So, what easier way? You don't have to know how to cook. You don't have to know any recipes. You don't even have to know anybody that knows how to cook. You can just open up near some other place that does and resell their stuff. Oh, my God. Well, if you've been riding Indian railways lately, not native Indian, I always have to say, Eastern Indian railways, 26 people got food poisoning, and the railways did an investigation, and they claim it was not the food. Now think about this logic. It was not the food that made the 26 passengers sick. It was not the food. It was 2 children vomiting from the food that made the other 26 people sick. That's the official statement of the railway. I mean, if you were drunk enough, you might believe that. It's not the food, it was the kids vomiting from the food that made everybody else sick. Oh, man, I wish I could make this stuff up. Let's see. If we got any more comments coming in here. Oh, my goodness. No. What are you doing back there, Minnie? Minnie's shifting her position. Let's see, what else we got here? Well, this ought to make the Darwin Award. Well, no, this lady was killed, basically. A Florida girl dies when her 325-pound cousin sits on her as punishment. Oh, man. Hey, I used to weigh more than that, So, anyway, that's the news. Let's go to the scam bag where we find the scumbags. And not really a scam this time, but I'm going to tell you something true, but you should always take it with a grain of salt. I triple-checked it before I did it. But Equifax, the one that got the data breach, has a service on another website. That's what really made me wonder, why isn't it just their main website? But anyway, they have another website set up to see, so you can see if you were affected by the data breach. And if you were, they'll give you free credit monitoring service, I don't know, for life. I don't know. But when I saw that, it was in an article, I clicked to the site, and the site was Equifax, I don't know, 123 Security or something. I thought, uh-oh, somebody is trying to play off and double screw you over by making a fake website. So I went directly to Equifax.com, directly, and it had a big thing on their homepage. It didn't look like it was hacked, where you click and go over to this other site to check yourself. So you still have to put in your Social Security number and stuff, so boy, I'm not sure how many people will do it. Okay, so let's go to self-defense tips. Got several of them. I just learned the term trap house, and it's got multiple meanings. It's usually a house that they sell drugs and prostitutes work out of there, or not work out of there, or pimped out of there. But it's also a place where young girls are told they're going to a party, and then they're kidnapped there and forced into sex, prostitution. So, if you have any young kids or teenagers coming up, you got to warn them about this. This kind of stuff. And they should never be going somewhere they don't know where they're going or who they're going to or with. Very dangerous. Now, last week we talked about using food as a weapon. Well, a woman attacked a 7-Eleven clerk with hot nacho cheese. So we should talk about defense against food. Well, the defense against food is similar to defense against any kind of weapon. You've got to watch people's hands. Now, I guess it's possible somebody could chew something up and spit it on you, and that's bad, but that's not the volume of stuff that could happen from their hand. If the lady took a whole pot of hot nacho cheese, it could scald somebody, all kinds of damage. So, again, get aware and watch people's hands all the time. And again, don't fixate it because you'll get headbutted or kicked or something. But I learned to go into what I call alpha mode. If I'm in a stressful situation or a dangerous situation, I almost look like a zombie. I'm going to see everything. I'm looking at you, but I'm not looking at you. I'm just aware of everything going on. And it sounds kind of woo-woo again, but if you practice it, you'll be aware of a lot of stuff. But if you fixate on one thing, it cuts out. I mean, I just did it right now. I was aware of everything around me, and then I fixated like that, and boom, my peripheral vision zoomed down into much smaller, and everything going on here, I would miss. All right, so try to practice that. Let's see. Now here is the most interesting self-defense tip I have heard in a long time. Ever, probably. So, and it's not actually a physical danger self-defense tip, it's a mental self-defense tip. So this guy, his name is Malcolm Applegate. He's 62 years old, and he was so fed up with his wife nagging him all the time. He just disappeared into the forest and lived there for 10 years. Everybody thought he was dead. His sister was on a wild search for him. And everybody had given up for dead. He was living in the woods for 10 years to get away from his wife's nagging. That is self-defense. That's get away. Get away from the threat. Right, Alan? Right? Yeah, run from the threat, right? Run to safety. That's what Alan always says. Not just don't run away. Run to safety in the woods. 10 years he did it, and he finally said, well, things probably cooled down by now. I guess they did. They thought you were dead and cold. Oh, man. All right, your internet tip. Get your ideas from anywhere. There's an Instagram account called Got Toddlered. Got Toddlered. Like a little toddler. Toddlered with an ED on the end. And it's pictures of this guy before he had kids and after he had kids. And so before he had kids, he's all bright and shiny. And then after he had kids, he's like not shaven and just exhausted, right? So it went viral on him. So he's collecting other people to show their before and afters. But this is what I've been ragging on people for 100 years. Keep your eyes open for opportunities, all right? They can come from the weirdest, like selfie stupidity came out of nowhere. I was reading an article and somebody said the word selfie stupidity. Now I got a website that's going to be making money soon. I Am Not a Poodle made $24,000 for Bichon Rescue, and it was because people kept calling my Bichons poodles. All right? So, Bachelor Party Bites. I'm watching my protection dogs practice, and I thought, what a great crazy bachelor party, right? So your internet tip is to keep your darn eyes open for opportunity. They're never going to stop coming. This was right in front of everybody's face since the internet started 25 years ago. Not one of you thought of it or even got close to it. This guy did it, boom, took off. So keep your eyes open. Okay, another internet tip is subject lines, because I happen to see two subject lines this week that just grabbed me. And they're both using what we call the Zeigarnik technique, which I teach in my copywriting course on about people not being able to stand not knowing something, or they're curious to find an answer. So I got these subject lines. I got a subject line that said 5 reasons it's good to keep pigs. And I'm thinking, man, I'm not a farmer. I'm not, I don't have a pot-bellied pig. Don't even want one. They're cute, but I don't want one. But I wonder what those 5 reasons are. I couldn't help. I had to look at it, and there was 5 reasons. I think one is they till the soil when they're rooting around, and I don't know. There's a bunch of them. So, but it got me to open. So if you can think of creative Zeigarnik technique subject lines, you'll get more open rates. And then this one, Kay is doing this one now, and her mother's doing this one now. 6 reasons to put onion slices in your socks. I guarantee you never heard a subject line like that before. So apparently it has something to do with foot reflexology, and it takes the toxin. I don't know. But if you have some cool subject lines, you can get enormous open rates. All right, so that's your internet tip. Okay, let's see. Let me refresh here, see some comments. This darn thing is so crazy on the comments. Janet says, oh, that was Magic Jack. Let's see. I can't see your comment, Janet. Sorry. I'll get to it later. If it shows up ever. All the comments show up like an hour after I get done recording these things. Okay, let's see what we got here. Speaking tip. It's very easy to, as a speaker, to get people to rush the stage. All right. In most cases, not all. Some audiences are too staid. You wouldn't even want to do it. It'd be ridiculous. But for a regular audience, you can get them to run up to the stage. If you had something really great and there was only a limited number of them, you could get basically a stampede. And stampedes are bad. All right. They get people hurt. So I'm going to tell you that it's okay to do this for effect and get some on video, but don't make it so like 1 or 2 things where people are going to just crash over each other to get to it. Because I had one time where a lady with diabetes got her ankle stepped on, and they hurt. Diabetes ankles hurt anyway, right? So I thought she was going to sue me or something, but I got out of that. But just be very careful, because it's a great looking effect, and whoop-de-doo and exciting, but dangerous. So if you're doing it, make sure you make clear instructions from the stage, and anybody that knocks anybody over is disqualified, doesn't get the prize. So lay out some ground rules before they run up there. Okay, your a-holes of the week. We'll start out with they're both just as bad in different ways. I mean, just crazy. They have to be crazy. Albert Davis, 31, was charged with murder in the death of a guy named Timothy Johnson, 24 years old. Officials say Davis gave the murder weapon to his 3-year-old toddler, who chased the guy around in the yard and shot him in the chest with the gun. He gave a loaded gun to it would have been fair if the kid would have shot the guy that gave him the gun. Hey, I would have said hero of the week. That kid put another moron off the planet, all right? But no, he gives a loaded gun to a 3-year-old, tells him to chase the other guy and shoot him, which the child did, and the guy is dead, and there we go. Albert Davis. My God. It's hard to believe how stupid some people are. It's just hard to believe. Until you read the next one, Lamora Williams. Atlanta mom charged with murder after putting allegedly, right, 2 young sons in the oven and turning it on. A 1 and a 2-year-old. Can you believe this? And then called their father and said, hey, the kids are dead. Like nothing happened. Like, I burnt a roast. I mean, I'm not even going to go on a rant. These are so horrendous, both of these. A rant wouldn't do them justice. I mean, both of these people should fry. I mean, fry. All right, hero of the week. Now, this is a little different kind of hero. His name is John Cronin, and he is a person with Down syndrome. But he decided, you know what? I'm 21 years old, and I have Down syndrome, but, you know, life goes on. I'm going to do something to be an inspiration to other people with Down syndrome. He started a sock called John's Crazy Socks, and it's going crazy. He's selling socks like crazy. I think he has 100 different styles. I used to talk, or I still talk about Sock of the Month Club when I talk about membership sites in my butt camps. For those of you who don't know, butt camp is a seminar, because I just said in my butt, basically. So no, I don't talk up my ass, all right? Yeah, so he's an inspiration, and I call that a hero. Yeah, good for him and good for his family. Look at little Foofy here. She's upside down. She's sleeping. She's my pillow right now. Oh, what a soft pillow. Hey, Minnie. Aren't you going to say hi? No, Daddy, I'm tired. I'm very tired. I had a hard day running, chasing the big dogs. So anyway, good for John. Well, that's our show. And again, prayers of those of you came on late. Prayers and thoughts go to Alan Baris and his family. I'm going to refresh here another time to see if any comments made it through. Man, this really sucks. No, same ones over again. I know there's more out there. But anyway, thoughts and prayers go out to Alan, his family. Hope Dolly, his stepmom, gets taken care of well. It's always a tough thing when there's so much abuse out there in the elder care community. So hope she gets safely taken care of. And I'm just going to end it on that. Good luck, Alan. Hang in there, buddy.